My coffee is almost done. Give me just a second.
What are we brewing? What's
I got some donut shop uh hazelnut coffee is what I'm making.
And man, I remember when coffee was just coffee. There was no fucking elderberry, monkey nut,
Elderberry.
coffee.
That'll be the inaugural opening. Okay, welcome everybody to episode 1. I think we're recording. Now would be a good time to check if we're recording. Let me check the old GeForce experience here. We are recording. We're not live, unless the FBI guys are watching us right now. So, what's going on, everybody?
Yeah.
This is episode 1, if this ever sees the light of day, if we don't get DMCA striked or canceled, or, you know, some person doesn't chain themselves to a tree outside my house or anything. So this is episode 1 of the Meme Team Meme Stream. We eventually want to do this live, but haven't really figured all that out yet, so we're just doing a rough, private, off-air, hidden bunker recording. So I'm Dalton, also known as Big Iron on Instagram. I'm the guy that runs all the Instagram pages, scientifically tests the hashtags for maximum reach to a bunch of 12-year-olds and all that stuff. Joining me today, I've got Austin, who's going to be in the top left of the screen here. You guys know him as Gold Leader. Austin, if you want to say hi.
Yeah, man, that'd be me. So I'm Austin, and he said it. I'm Gold Leader. Also on Instagram. Just a little bit about me. I've been playing Airsoft for a little over a decade now, and me and Red Leader, which should be down below us, also known as Noah. We've been playing together for a little over 7 years together. We met each other working at our first job together, talked about guns, and just kind of spiraled after that. So, want to introduce yourself there, Noah?
Hey, I'm Noah, also known as Red Leader. Yeah, I've played Airsoft a little over 10 years. Just backyard Springer bullshit at people's houses, and then that turned into, you know, somebody gets their first AEG from Dick's Sporting Goods, and then
That was me, for sure.
yeah, and then it just goes from there. And Dalton and I have actually kind of played together since we were freshmen in high school, and then we recently picked him back up, and he got back into it in the past year.
Yeah, I kind of got out of it in the middle of the tail end of high school, and I didn't pick it up until the beginning of 2020, which was an excellent year, as everyone knows, to get back into
Yeah.
Airsoft.
What a time to get back into
We got a
Airsoft.
solid one
Yeah.
game, and everyone was like, "All right, lockdown, everyone go back inside."
Yep.
So-
We Dalton went to one game at Nashville Airsoft with us, which it was in my personal top 3 game days ever. Incredible
best
day.
Yeah.
And then the
That
next week, every field shut down.
Yeah, you know,
Yep.
That was our first video, actually. Nutshot
that's-
Airsoft.
that's
at
right, yeah,
Nashville.
my
that,
very
was, that was our
first-
first
that's right.
video on our channel.
it took me forever to edit because so a little bit about me, like my background, I work in marketing and video production and a bunch of stuff like that. So I've been editing videos as a hobby or professionally for like 10 years, but I'd never done anything where there was multiple GoPro footage and we had to sync it up with each other, and then it was going back and forth in a dark environment, and then like what happens if 2 things are going on at once. It took me like a month to edit, I don't know, a collective of like an hour and a half worth of footage. I had a couple strokes during it. I had to go to therapy at least twice. But we eventually got it out, and it was, yeah, it ended up being, it's one of our, for a while it was our most popular video, and then of course a couple of ours have exploded since then, the Brushy Mountain and everything like that. But
Oh, yeah.
yeah, we got one game in, and then, as we were leaving, there was one guy that went, I was like, oh, that's kind of weird, and then sure enough, yeah, COVID, everybody shut down for a while.
Yeah. We were actually supposed to go to a game that next weekend. It was Bad Karma's final noob day, their final game day ever.
Yeah.
They sold the field, it was shutting down, and yeah, we ended up not making it to that.
I kind of wish we could have gone, honestly, because
Yeah.
it would have just been a cool thing to be, you know, like we could have gotten tetanus from one of the buildings one last time.
I mean, for me, it would have been cool because that was my first ever actual Airsoft field I went to.
Mm-hmm.
That was
I
all
think
our
me-
first
yeah,
field,
me
I
too.
believe.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
it would have been cool to end that place out playing the last time there ever. So that would have been cool.
Because Noah, you and I, a mutual friend had a birthday party there when we were I guess freshman in high school, or maybe.
We would have been freshmen, yeah.
Okay, because you and I met freshman year.
I went there in 8th grade for Noob Day.
Okay.
Then we went to Noob Day our freshman year, went to Noob Day our sophomore
Mhm.
year, and then
I
don't think we ever went. We probably went after that. Never went to a Noob Day or anything after
no,
that.
not that I remember. Because Tristan, who's one of our friends who just got back into it, one of his first time playing at like a big arena was that. Because before then we had played at another friend's. He had a backyard. He had a huge backyard, like what, 50 acres or something.
Massive, yeah.
Creeks and all kinds of stuff. There's indigenous species back there. It's probably a tribe of Indians living back there. It's crazy.
Before I met Noah and started playing with it was actually kind of funny. My first instance meeting him at an airsoft field. It wasn't really an airsoft field. We'll get into that later.
He met me before he knew me.
Yeah, but so speaking of backyard airsoft, like all of our friends, this was back in middle school, 6th, 7th grade maybe, and we were all playing, springers, shotguns from Walmart, stuff like that. I remember I was the first one out of my friend group before you guys to like actually buy a real airsoft gun. Well, it was a present from my parents because I was in 7th grade in middle school. But it was from Airsoft GI, and it was one of the G&G combat machines, like one of Airsoft GI's custom ones. So I remember taking that to my buddy's house, playing at his place, and everyone else had springers, and I show up with this, and they were like, "This isn't fair." So I remember it was me against like 7 of my buddies because all they had was springers. So it was kind of a slaughterhouse.
What was your first like Gucci airsoft AEG, Noah? That's a good thing to.
Oh man, mine wasn't Gucci at all. It was the J&G M4A1, but it was like the M4 from Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 that's got the huge rail on the front, and it's got the flip up sights, and
yes,
it always had the vertical grip
system.
Yeah,
M4.
Yeah, that was my very first AEG, was one of those, and I think Tristan had the exact same one, but in like a different color. I think mine was tan, his was black.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Somebody else had one. Like 3 or 4 of us on that first team had those, and to me then it was like,
Yeah.
that's the hottest shit I could ever have.
My first actual airsoft gun was a clear Colt 1911 that came with the mesh target from Walmart.
Yep.
And that was grand $20.
Okay, well, if we're talking about those,
but I was just like, my first AEG was the DPMS from Dick's.
Alec had that one. Yep, I remember that gun.
It also came with like a 1911, I think. And then my first like actual good AEG was a Matrix M4. I forget the exact model.
Yep.
And like I had a deep fire, basically entire deep fire gearbox that I had built. Fucking Bixby is picking up on my phone. Fuck Bixby.
Fuck Bixby.
But yeah, I had a deep fire kit. I tried to do it myself when I was like, I don't know, 13, and I very quickly opened everything up, and I was like, this ain't happening.
Yeah.
So
that's still me now.
I just kind of scooped it all into a box and took it to Nashville Airsoft when they were still in like some industrial park. They were like,
their first location was only a store. They didn't have a field or anything.
So I remember walking in there, and I was like, yeah, I done goofed. Like, can you unfuck this? And they were just like, oh kid, well you're gonna pay the idiot tax, but okay. And so like what seemed like forever ago, they call me, and they're like, the operation was a success. Congratulations, it's a boy. Like, come pick up your gun. And so I came. It was in time. It was there in time for Bad Karma, and I had that like spicy lipo battery. Like I think it actually came out of like a Toyota Corolla or something. I don't know.
It was huge too. It was a lipo, but I swear it was like that big.
Because mine had the plastic handguard that you would pull back the spring thing, and then it would come apart into 2 pieces, and that's where the battery was. So you could fit whatever you wanted in there. You could fit a secondary gun in there if you really wanted to. And I remember how fucking fast that thing shot. And I remember being at Bad Karma and everyone was like, oh my god, what did you do to that? And then by the end of the day, literally like the last 20 minutes of Bad Karma Noob Day, I think the motor just committed suicide basically, because it was melted pretty bad. And then I think that might have actually been my last game period, because I never got it fixed. I ended up selling the gun, and I don't know, it was forever ago, like obviously until last year when I got my Crytek. But Noah and I used to play a lot at our other friend's backyard, and it was like, I don't know, 7 or 8 of us probably.
Yeah, it was
that
never more
perfectly
than
fine.
10. Yeah.
I remember
It was funny. Sorry, go ahead, bud.
I was the one guy whose house it was. He had an M4 with actually like a Power Wheels battery. I'm pretty sure that he like put in the camel pack thing in his carrier, and he had this cable running out. It was like redneck HPA, because he had a cable running to his gun.
Yeah.
But
Like one of
He
those batteries
soldered.
you get in a Power Wheels.
Yeah.
little
That's what it
car.
was. Yeah, it
Oh,
said
really?
like Power
it
Wheels
might
on
have
it.
said
and
Barbie on it, dude. I don't know. I mean,
Yeah, they soldered up like a 4-foot long cable that just ran right out of his back up the side, and it was just like an HPA cable,
And
just right into the buttstock and hooked up.
it was hot.
And it was a KWA. It was an
Was it SR10?
SR.
Was that?
No, it
was
was a
that-
12.
Are we talking about Campbell?
Yeah, it was an
Yeah.
SR12 because that gun was like 8 feet long,
Yeah.
and it had a suppressor on the front.
It was huge.
The longest gun I've ever seen
I
on
got
the
a
field.
I got a story about facing that, and I think I'll tell that story after we talk about the very first time that I met Noah without knowing Noah. So I guess I'll just go into that.
Okay.
So before that though, since we're talking about guns, before my Airsoft G&G custom gun, my very first like AEG was more of like an LPEG. It was a Double Eagle G36C from Amazon for like $50. And
Oh yeah,
I remember using that at my
those.
birthday party in the backyard against everyone with some springers. And then I got the Airsoft G&G custom. But going into the story with my first time meeting Noah without actually knowing who he was. So in Estill Springs, at the skating rink, which is now a furniture store,
Yeah,
but there used to
naturally.
be this, yeah,
Rip.
but there used to be this skating rink out in Estill Springs, near where we live. And in the back of the skating rink, and this is on the side of a highway, and in the back of this skating rink is woods. It's just a huge wooded area, and there's this white fence that
It's a
separates
big
the parking-
valley, kind
Yeah.
of.
Mhm.
and it separates the
A
parking
river
lot.
back there.
Yeah, and it separates the parking lot from the woods. And I don't remember how I figured out about it, but I heard about it, talking about it at school with someone. And like, oh yeah, we hold games over here at the skating rink. I said, okay. So I had my mom drive me out there, because I think I was a freshman in high school or something like that. And she drives me out there. I see this person in a white Volvo, and at the time I didn't know what was going on, but I see this person pull up in a white Volvo. He pops the trunk. He's wearing these blue like Ray-Ban shades, and he pops the trunk. He puts on an ACU. Back then ACU was all the rage, so he puts on this ACU plate carrier, and he pulls out a fucking MP5 and just walks out into the woods. And didn't fucking see him the rest of the time. And then we're fighting in this said valley ravine thing, like this river that has no water in it, and I'm just sitting there exchanging fire with this one dude, and all of a sudden I see the blue shades bobbing back and forth. I was like, that's the MP5 guy. And so we're shooting at each other, and then so that was the first time I ever met Noah, was that experience. And then we met at work, and then we started talking. I was like, wait a minute, I think I know who you are.
The
Saw you
infamous
before.
Blue Shades guy.
Yeah.
Trent played out there also.
Did he?
Mm-hmm.
I never
Couple
played out
times.
there. I
Trent.
don't think.
It was really weird because there was a Facebook group that was just an open group, like
Yeah.
like the page, follow the posts, whatever. And people would post. It was usually on Sunday. People would say, "Hey, there'll be a game today" or whatever. And there were times where whoever, I don't know who was in charge of it or whatever, but someone would say, "Okay, game day set on this day at this time. Everyone be there." and you'd show up, there wouldn't be a single person there. Like not even the guy who
Mm-hmm.
Said,
ran the show, and you're
Yeah.
like,
Okay.
what's going on?
Hmm.
And when you're like 15, 16, well, possibly can't even drive yourself
you
there.
have your parents drive you out there. And
Yeah,
it's just
that's a
empty.
long drive to show up, which that happened to Trent. That's a long drive to show up
Yeah.
for there to just be no one there. Like when you were clearly told there'd be people
Yeah,
there.
get like
So,
gear ready and everything. That does suck.
yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Interesting.
And then the funny thing with Campbell, we're talking about facing off against the SR10 with a fucking car battery hooked to it. Me and this one guy who used to be my close friend, we're in the same ravine that I was talking about the fight with you, Noah, and all of a sudden you just hear this Bert, and it's just BBs coming around this corner, and we're tucked inside this ravine, and we're just sitting in this ravine like we're gonna die, and all of a sudden around the corner comes Campbell with that freaking SR10 that's this long, and he's just mowing down everything as he's coming around this corner, and I'm just like, oh my god, and then we just got mowed down. It was nuts. It was terrifying.
He's like the heavy from TF2. He's just.
It was honestly terrifying because that was like the only actual games I've played since my first time at Bad Karma, and I was like, so I was still pretty new,
Yeah.
and I was terrified.
Dalton,
Yeah.
towards the end of our little group's endeavors, pretty much everyone was rocking KWA. Manfred had that KM4.
Mhm.
Campbell had that ridiculous SR, way too long. Jonathan had an M249, and I think he had an SR10.
Yeah, that sounds right.
And Taylor had an SR7.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
And then
I was the odd man out with the Matrix.
I just always had whatever someone else was selling usually. So
When I was playing at Estel, I was running a King Arms Colt M4A1.
I had a Colt. Yeah. I guess that's probably what I was using. I had a King Arms, the trademarked government
Yeah.
profile
It was like,
M4A1.
honestly, it was probably the best airsoft gun I've ever owned, and I
It
wish
was
I
a
had
good
never
gun.
gotten rid of it.
Yeah, I wish I had kept that.
Always sell the good stuff, man.
I sold
Way she
mine.
goes.
My Matrix. I was like, it's a $250 gun with $100 worth of upgrades. It literally just probably needs a new motor. Maybe you can go through the gearbox again. And I think I let it go for like $250. I think so. I
don't even want to talk about regrets because Noah's holding one of my biggest regrets, and I don't even want to talk about it.
Yeah.
I can let him talk about it.
That's
if he
Kermit's
wants.
gun. That's
Yeah.
what Kermit uses. He Kermits a lot of crimes with it on the field.
Yeah.
It actually, I used that gun every time we went in 2020, and it didn't
Yeah.
break. So I think maybe she's good to go. That gun's kind of cursed in a way. There's always the one AEG on the team that just breaks, and just whoever uses it, it's
Since we're
cursed.
talking about it, we'll tell the backstory of it.
Yeah, it came from Austin. I'll let him start.
Yeah, so me and Noah's first job was at Chick-fil-A. That's where we first started working together. And I remember we were stocking the condiment
God's
bar,
chick.
and we were just talking about guns and stuff. And I was like, man, I'm gonna buy this one airsoft gun. And at the time, it was super expensive, and it still is a pretty fair price for a gun. It's a GMP Magpul M4, and it's super short. It's like the CQB version, and it's got the Magpul body. They're super rare now, but at the time it was like $350.
Keep going. I'll grab it.
And it had all Magpul furniture, PTS sights, and then the Magpul body itself was Magpul. And I was like, man, I'm gonna get this, and it said lipo ready. So we take it out to the field. Me and Noah go play, and I got an 11-1 hooked in this bad boy, and I'm running full auto. And this is before I stopped using full auto because I don't really shoot full auto anymore.
Yeah.
But before that, I was rocking full auto, and I was just going through mag dumping after mag dump. And all of a sudden you hear that. It's like the red ring of death for an Xbox, but for an AEG it's it's fucking terrible. Like when you strip your gears.
It almost sounds like a power drill.
It's terrible, and then your heart sinks because you know what just happened. So that happens to me while I'm out in the field, and then I just set it to the side and it sits there. And at the time, I didn't know too much about getting guns fixed. Yeah, that's it. It's been heavily modified since he's had it. I actually put that paint job on it, the
Did
weathered green paint job.
did you put the zip ties on the front of it? Is that factory?
No.
Oh, dude, those are my chrono tags, man.
Yeah.
My collection.
Um.
All I've done with it besides fix it a bunch is put the tan furniture on it. It was originally
Yeah.
black. I changed it for the FDE.
But so I destroy it and I put it in my closet. I never get it fixed. One day Noah comes over and I'm needing cash for a new gun, right? So he comes over and I'm like, hey man, I'll sell you this. And my dumbass is like, I'll sell it to you for $100. It's broken. And he obviously buys it. And he goes and gets it fixed and upgraded that CartCon. Same place where I stripped it out. And he's got a working gun. And I can let him take it from here.
We attempted to fix it ourselves because we thought just maybe the motor had gone out.
Yeah.
And so we find a motor that shows up and flipped over, pull the grip cap out, remove the motor. And I was like, oh man,
this is gonna be easy motor swap.
Yeah, this is easy. Changing the motor is great. And then I flipped the gun over, and like gear teeth fall out of it. And I said, oh, bud, she's fucked. We can't. It's out of our pay grade.
Gear teeth and everything. I mean, it just comes out.
There was
oh god.
Oh, man.
Yeah. And so I got it fixed. And I think really that motor is a little more powerful than it needs to be because I don't ever use full auto. I just, And the first time I fired a burst of auto after having it repaired, it immediately stripped all the gears again, had all the gears replaced, and then it blew a piston, had the piston replaced. I don't even remember what they fixed last time. It just quit
like,
working. And they're like, "Oh, you again? All right, we'll fix it." So I love the gun, and it only weighs like 2 pounds. It's so lightweight, and I've got
buy back from them.
I'm not getting rid of it. As cursed as it is, I've got a super tight bore barrel in it that, see, it's got that suppressor on the front, and I had them run the barrel like all the way up to the tip of it, just for a little bit more.
I think I'm gonna put a 5.99 millimeter inner barrel in mine. I think that's what I'm gonna do.
If it gets out the barrel, it'll be pretty accurate.
Yeah, if it gets out.
I just gotta shim all my babies.
Right, that one's got a true 6.01 barrel in it. It's I think a Mad Bull or whoever makes the good ones.
Okay.
Yeah.
Every time he takes it somewhere to go get fixed, they're like, "Man, this is super rare. Can I buy this from you?"
I know people are always trying to hustle it off of me.
Cause the body itself goes for like $600.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Fucking bastard.
We've had a couple people actually ask us on the gram, like, how the group of us got started as this team. Because I know, obviously, you guys started playing together. But guys had, because you and I were really good friends in high school. And Austin, I didn't know you, because you were 2 years under us. But, like, we just kind of fell out of touch, just like people do after graduation. And we started talking a couple of years ago. And I'd kind of came back in touch with you guys and joined your Discord here, like probably right after you, I guess, quote unquote, founded Meme Team 6. So like, what's the history behind that? What was like the
So over the years, it started out Austin and I, and there would always be like a third. Sometimes if we had a big crowd, we'd have a fourth person with us going, and eventually we just got to where we had like 5 or 6 or more people. And everyone who was going with us, we already knew, or was somebody worked with, and so we the idea of like getting patches and stuff had always been thrown around, but we never really had like a team name. We never quite actually had something.
I think in the very beginning it was Blazing Arms Airsoft, remember? And we had.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
We had a logo, and it was Blazing Arms Airsoft. It was cross M16s with a flaming BB, and it was BAA.
Yeah.
And
okay. There's a dump pouch somewhere that has BAA painted on it, I think.
That's funny. And I had my mom at work. I printed it off. It was a shield, and I had her take them to work, and she laminated it, and then I put Velcro on the back. And those were our patches for the longest time.
High speed.
And it was just
I
me
remember
and Noah,
that.
But
Yeah.
it was just me and Noah, and we would go to CartCon. Like I think there was a point in time where we went like 6 weeks in a row.
Yeah, we went a
Like,
bunch. That first or second summer, I think the first summer I just used all your gear
mhm,
because I didn't have any anymore.
yeah,
And then that second year, I finally put a kit together and got a gun and everything. And then that was when we pretty much had heat strokes on
yeah.
the
Oh,
field from wearing too much high speed Gucci shit.
we were not in shape at all at the
No,
time.
it was like 100 degrees every day we went. Yeah,
Yeah,
we had to change things up.
but there was a
Yeah.
point in time where we went and played a lot, and so it started out just me and Noah, like, cause I was always into it, and I had never really stopped once I started. Noah started like with you, stopped for a time, met me, picked back up, and then we started going. And then I got a computer. I was in a motorcycle accident, and back in 2017, and Noah stepdad graciously gave me a gaming computer because I was at home for like 6 months, laid up, and I joined the Discord and I met Trent and I met a bunch of other guys in the Discord, and then we started gaming together regularly. And then Trent started going to play Airsoft with us, and so now we're three of us regularly going. So that was cool.
Trent is Lead Farmer for those of you on the Instagram.
Yeah, so Lead
Yeah.
Farmer is Trent, so he's also on Instagram.
John was the next to go. John,
Yeah.
I work with John, and we didn't actually really know each other at all. We knew who each other were, and he kind of knew I was into gaming, and that was really it. And he just came to me one day, almost out of the blue, and was like, "Hey, my kid wants an airsoft gun for his birthday. You're the only young fucking person in this entire place. Do you know anything about airsoft?" And I was like, "Yeah,
I'll have
yeah.
you
You
know.
you just happened to walk up to the right person."
Yeah.
And about 2 weeks later, John, his kid, and me, Austin, Trent, like probably the 5 or 6 of us, we all went out to the field, and
Hmm.
that was where it really started. Because then, like John had friends that would come, and more people from work would show up, and um, somehow we settled on the name Meme Team Six, just because it's. I mean, it's a funny name,
Yeah.
because it just
It's
blatantly
easy. It's an
means,
easy name,
Yeah.
and
yeah, it's an easy name. And we ended up, me and John, just messing around in Photoshop one night,
I
pretty
remember I was
much.
there for that. I remember y'all
Yeah,
doing
we
that.
just came up with our patch that I think Dalton has one he
Yeah,
can show real quick.
I was gonna pull up the file, but I forgot that I literally 20 minutes ago took this and put it behind me for this exact reason. So
And then
we call it the Founders Patch now.
That's founders. Yeah,
So
that's the founding meme team patch that
gonna-
John
yeah.
and I designed.
So you got
And
Big Chungo wearing a vest there.
tack vest and a fast helmet. And we took those. We went to our first game with those patches in October 2019. Everyone had a patch. We didn't. We had not adopted the Hawaiian shirts yet. This was
Mm-mm.
pre-Hawaiian shirt,
Yep.
which
This was
is
before
really
the
really
league.
almost our brand now. But right after that, I think sometime in that same month, Dalton joined the Discord, was playing games with us,
Mhm.
Yep. He was in
and
the process of getting all his gear. He was
yeah,
talking
he
to us
was he
about
was
it.
figuring out what he wanted, and so Dalton came right at like the first, I guess, official meme team opening, and then
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yep.
early the next year was when he went with us, and we were all wearing matching gear and patched out, and it was great.
Because I think right about that same time, you guys had been discussing, like, because we have GoPros, we want to record stuff, and I was like, oh.
Because me and Noah had been wanting to do it for a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
And
was even starting because I had been asking Dalton questions about Premiere and stuff. Like I
Mhm.
was slowly starting to kind of learn that stuff,
Mhm.
and then he showed up, and I didn't have to.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, because I,
now we got our editor.
I've like I said earlier, I've edited videos for almost 10 years. Like Tristan, who is MT6 Stony, him and I have been best friends since the 3rd grade, and like him and I have always been obsessed with YouTube. We've always wanted to become YouTubers. Like he's had a Call of Duty channel since, I don't know, dude, since like he could ride a bike. Like, and he's the one who taught me how to edit in Sony Vegas originally. And because before then I was using Movie Maker, and my first YouTube channel I uploaded Bionicle videos, which is super gangster, by the way. So I would build all of my custom Bionicles, and I would like have names and bios and powers for them, and I would like upload videos and review them. And I was like 9 and I had like 400 subs on YouTube, which is actually more than we have right now.
That's a lot. That's a lot.
Yeah, yeah, that's
Um,
got us beat right now.
And
Yeah.
like back then, because YouTube, if anyone remembers, YouTube, you could customize your page, and there's like a friends list, a comment section. Like you could go on someone's page, kind of like I guess MySpace or Facebook, and like
It did look like MySpace, didn't
yeah,
it?
and you could
Yeah.
change the background of your page and everything. And so I kind of got my start there and taking pictures and editing videos, and then Tristan taught me Vegas and how to do kind of HD stuff. And then so I used Vegas up until 2015, I think. And then I call it the summer of memes is what I refer to it. But like I have another friend group. Just all of us, we call it like the 931 crew because that's our area code. And like everyone from our high school group, we all just kind of still stay in touch. It's just like a group of 30 of us. And it was when Pokemon Code came out. It was me and like 10 of our other friends just memeing around T-Town like all summer playing Pokemon Go. And we were playing like Overwatch came out that year, Rocket League I think was like the year before. And so I started editing a bunch of videos on we just called the YouTube channel 931, and it was just us playing video games. And I got really really good at video editing there, and I finally switched over to Premiere because I'd used Photoshop and everything forever. And so then I switched over to Premiere, and it was frustrating because it's like you're in a car accident and you can't like walk anymore. You just forgot you know how to, but you can't. And that's how it felt because like I knew how to video edit, but I'm in Premiere and I was like, I don't know what anything does. This is frustrating. I can't even separate a video like in two. What is this? And now it's come full circle, and I'm better at Premiere than I ever was at.
And now look at you.
Yeah, I'm basically, I'm just making Snyder cuts left and right. But
Yeah, buddy.
so yeah, I came in and I enjoy video editing and everything. It's a lot of fun, and that's what I do for a living now is photography and video production and stuff. But so I came in and I offered to be the editor, and you guys thankfully already had GoPros, so like kind of already had that together. We just got more batteries and stuff, and the
Yep.
enclosures for them. And so it's just kind of
I
been
bought a new GoPro.
yeah, that's right. Because I never
Had
had
a
a
Hero
GoPro.
4.
I had never had one before, and I got a 7 Black. I think Austin, you have a 7 Black now. So
No, I just have a 6.
you have a 6. Okay, for some reason it's Trent that has a 7 Black then.
You, Dalton being you, me, and Trent all have the 7 black.
Okay.
Yeah,
And
and then Austin's got the
The 6.
Tristan,
the whatever black, because the black is always like the 4K.
right?
Yeah.
Tristan has a Hero 4 because I remember he bought it a long time ago. Going back to the YouTube thing, he wanted to start like a car channel, and so he would use it like as a dash cam and for like vlogs and other stuff.
Yeah,
So he had that. So like all of us kind of had a lot of the equipment, and we've talked about this before, Noah, like all of us have the distinction of having like we're not rich, but like we all have pretty good paying jobs, so like we've been able to just more or less throw money at stuff like whenever like, oh, we want a $400 GoPro and 20 batteries.
Yeah.
Okay, let's just put
You're
it,
right.
put it in the cart
Yeah.
and send it our way.
my financial obligations are pretty low,
Yeah.
so I can
Um,
I can hook myself up.
so
Yeah, buddy.
we kind of came up with like you guys had already came up with a name, and I loved it. It was super hilarious, and you had just made the patches, and I was like, just for fun, because I just wanted to design something. I came up with the hand logo because like we all do this
The old yeah.
the made you look game all the time.
I think our first group picture we took, we all were like
Yeah,
doing
we were
this,
doing
and
that.
so it kind of stuck.
And I just came up with I think I was literally taking a shower one day, and I was just like just looking at it, and I was like, oh my god, it's
Did you water bend off of it
Yeah,
a little
I was
bit,
like-
shoot the.
I was like, it's gonna be backwards in the video, but like it's a 6, and then it's a made you look, and I was like, oh my god, it's a breakthrough. And so I kind of just like I was late for work because I like went and did something in Photoshop really quick just before I would forget about it, and then we came up with the logo, and then it's just kind of us been messing around with playing with this, that, and the other from there.
I'm gonna see if I can find our group photo, first one we took, and I'll put it in the chat.
It's just been a cascade of good ideas ever since. Something else we did was we came up with these little cards. There was a team. Shout out to I'm not sure who exactly, but they were the Teutonic Knights at that point.
Yeah.
I think they've kind of shifted and rebranded a little bit now. But one day at CartCon, Austin and I were there, and they came around. They said hi to us, introduced themselves, and they handed us a business card with
Yeah.
like their website or whatever. And I was like,
That's amazing.
Wow.
that's fucking
Yeah,
genius.
these guys.
And so we did that with our own cards that Dalton came up with, and it probably backwards, but it's just simply our logo and our website, and just little business card format. They were super cheap, and then we found out Stoney works in a print shop, so
he just
I wouldn't even pay for him anymore.
he's like a drug dealer because he just texted me one day. He said, "Hey, come outside." I went, "Okay." So I put pants on and went outside, and he's sitting there in his Challenger, just and then like his dark window rolls down. He goes, "Hey, come here," and I walk up. I'm like, "Yeah, what's up?" And he just hands me a shoebox, and he goes, "Open it." I was like, "Okay."
Dude, it was like 600 of
And
them.
I actually still have the shoebox. It's on my bookshelf. There's a bunch of shit on top of it, but it's like there's like just stacks of business cards, and
Bushels of cards.
And he's like, "I think there's about 1,000 cards in here," and he goes, I was slow at work today, so this is paper that I can basically use all day, every day, and no one will ever notice. And here's some free cards. Thanks for adding me to the team." And I was like, "Dude, this is at least $100 worth of cards." And so yeah, we started handing out the business cards a lot. Like anytime I'm anywhere, I'll just like slip them under a door somewhere. Like driving through traffic, I'll throw them at some kid. Whatever.
I try to pay with them at Walmart. We're not quite that big yet,
No,
but
the clout has not achieved that status.
no.
I did, and then like the business card is basically our logo with the URL to our website. So I'm not a web developer by any means, but I do know how to spell Squarespace, and so I was able to type that in and drag stuff around until I was happy with whatever. But like our website is basically, for any of you guys that haven't gone to it, it's mt6.media. We put the slash in there just so people know it's like a URL, not like an Instagram handle or whatever. But it's like a Linktree page essentially. Like it just shows, like YouTube, Instagram, Twitch, OnlyFans. We do actually have an OnlyFans. There's nothing on it yet. We just made it as a
Just
meme.
toes.
I think we're the only Airsoft page, well, besides like girl Airsofters, to have an OnlyFans. We're the only team to have an OnlyFans.
Some neat thoughts.
So,
Oh, but we will be.
yeah, big plans. I think we did.
Can it just be pictures of feet?
Well, we did. Noah and I discussed
The old Kremet over here.
that it was either going to be gun and feet pics, or the higher you pay, the more clothes that we would put on. So that's your incentive to
Yeah.
pay more, is you have to see less of us.
It's reverse extortion. You have to pay us to stop being naked.
And see, like, it basically, the cheapest tier is free, and it's us just getting your email address and sending you pictures, whether you want them or not. And so, like, if you want us to stop, you have to pay. You'd be like, "Please, I have a family, just leave me alone. Here's $5." Okay.
I have security clearances. Please stop.
Yeah. And like the $50 uwu tier is basically, we just take you off our calling list, and then you don't have to worry about it anymore. You go into witness protection, it's fine.
Otherwise, we'll give your number to Jehovah Witnesses or something.
Yeah, who would do that? So like the reason we're doing this episode now, we're recording this on Saturday the 17th of April in the year of our Lord Chungus. Our Lord Alphonse.
The year of Chungus.
As of right now, our Instagram is sitting at, and let me pull this up here. It's sitting at 68 posts, and I would have completely missed this, honestly, which is bad because I'm the one that runs the account. But Noah was like, I don't know if it's gonna focus there or not, but we do have 68 posts right now, and Noah's like, "Hey, our 69th post is coming up. What do you want to do for the 69th post?" And I was like, "Man, I don't know. What should we do?" And we were like, "I don't know. We could post a picture of feed or something." I was like, "Nah, we gotta do something. We gotta do something special." And see, since it's April, we knew that 420 was coming up, so we're like, we should do the 69th post on 420. We're like, that's fantastic. We still don't have anything to post. We're like, okay.
Yeah.
So
All that did was buy us an extra week to still have no
Yeah,
ideas.
yeah.
Yeah.
And
We brainstormed. We couldn't come up with
so
anything.
literally like 2 days ago, I was like, why don't we just do the first? Because we've been talking about doing a podcast since we started all this.
Yeah,
And
it's been a long
because like
time.
we have mt6.airsoft on Instagram, we have mt6.gaming, which we have a gaming channel. We have a couple of videos up that are actually pretty funny, but it's just like between all of us working full time, I work a lot of overtime, and I commute
In
to
my
work.
situation,
Yeah, you're deployed right now, so you only have your Nerf gun behind you there to have access to. Like, I just don't
Yeah.
have time to edit two completely different channels because like we have gaming PCs, and so like I use GeForce to record stuff, and I'm not exaggerating when I said I have at least 3 terabytes of stuff that I've just recorded of either us just talking in Discord or us playing games, just memes, but I just do not have time to edit all of it, and so we've kind of let that sit a little while in case you guys are wondering if you've ever been to it and be like, man, why are these guys not playing games no more? But
Oh, we play games.
yeah,
We can't get it out there.
yeah, that's probably for the better in our cases. But
Yeah,
we have been talking
Yeah.
about starting our Twitch channel. We have a Twitch, but now Noah, that you have big boy internet, like you can start streaming. I can hopefully start streaming now that I have a little bit more time.
I can do it now that the hotel that I'm staying in
Oh, dude,
has better internet.
That's true. You don't want to get doxxed or any like Twitch bombed or anything. The hotel kick you out. But,
Yeah, I know.
So our
Wouldn't
plan,
that be a bitch?
we got kind of sidetracked. Our plan was like, hey, we should just do the first episode of the podcast, and we decided that 2 days ago. And Austin was like, man, I ain't even got a webcam, and so he went to
Yeah,
Best
so
Buy
I ran
yesterday,
to Best Buy.
and so we got everything set up, and we were like, we're gonna hopefully this will be out probably on Tuesday, on 420, and it'll just be like a surprise post like, hey, LOL. Uwu 420 69. Here's a podcast. Hopefully, at least one person will listen to it that isn't our moms or your moms. So
I'll make sure that all of your moms are watching
yeah,
it.
they're actually the ones
We'll podcast and
they're the
shit.
ones that gave
Yeah.
us the idea for the OnlyFans. Funny enough,
Dude,
Yeah.
listen, if Snake and Nasty are listening on this, your mom, she's our biggest fan.
she might actually watch this. She always watches all their stuff. She's very
Listen,
supportive.
Nasty's mom
Yeah.
is the best. She's the best, and we're referring to Snake and Nasty from Task Force Podcast. They're one of the only airsoft podcasts out there, and they're pretty freaking awesome.
They're
Bunch of great dudes.
They were one of the because I found them just as quote unquote I was doing research or like helping grow our page.
Mhm.
And so I was on Instagram just like looking up airsoft related content, and I was like, I wonder what kind of podcasts are out there. And so I just typed in airsoft podcast on Instagram, and I came across these guys, and I forgot these guys being Task Force, and they had some like clip on their Instagram page that was just really funny. And so usually the way that I would like do Instagram work and kind of market our page is I would go to someone's page, like a few of their posts, and I would leave some bullshit snarky comment or like whatever, and I left something funny on one of their comments, and they immediately responded, and they like clapped back with some other response, and I was like, oh, these guys are hilarious. And so we just
Oh, yeah.
memed each other back and forth, and then I was like, I should probably actually watch the podcast if I'm just gonna meme these guys. And so one day at work I listened to 3 or 4 episodes, and I was like, oh, these guys are great, they're super chill. And so one night they were doing an Instagram live, and I just like hopped in, and we basically through alcohol and boredom and me being in Instagram Live, we just built them a Discord, and like
Yeah.
we spent like 5
Yeah.
hours hanging out with them in a Discord. And
It was like 1 a.m. and I was like, guys, I gotta go to
yeah,
bed.
I wasn't there for that. I was only there for our first,
Yeah.
all 3 of us together in one of their
and
it
so
was their Christmas giveaway.
we've been pretty good. We've been pretty good friends, and so we always try to catch their live streams. We miss a lot of them because we go to a Mexican restaurant in our town to play trivia every Saturday or most Saturdays, and it literally starts at the exact same time that their podcast starts.
Yeah.
And so
Does.
yeah.
It falls on the
you know,
exact
we
time.
got to get that $15 gift card for Mexican. But at
Yeah,
the same
that
time,
we
Listen,
split
if you guys are
between 10
listening,
people.
I don't just join in on the giveaways, okay?
Okay.
I join in when I have the time, and I
Okay.
sneak it in at work.
Yeah.
Okay, I could get in a lot of trouble. I could get an Article 15 for watching y'all's podcast, but I do.
I mean, I'm pretty sure that you came in and you said, and I quote, man, I need more free clothes. It's time to watch another episode of Task Force.
Come on, no.
Yeah,
No.
I was there. I remember.
Listen,
But
all that free KWA merch,
Yeah,
I'm
oh,
down.
dude, I'm gonna be
yeah,
Worth the Article 15, baby.
I'm gonna be
Worth
wearing
it.
Big
KWA just underwear. I'm gonna have a Fight Night tramp stamp written on me. It's gonna be great.
yeah,
So talking about the task force and KWA and everything, because we were bringing them up just to say that was one of our inspirations to like we were like, man, we should do a podcast. We
Yep.
should do a podcast. That's a lot of fun, and we kind of helped them like get on Twitch and show them how to use Twitch. Because Noah, you watch a lot of Twitch, and so you're like,
yeah. I don't really. My media consumption is very odd. I watch shitty meme movies, Star Wars, Godzilla, and Twitch and YouTube.
Yeah.
And if you're not one of those 5 things, I'm probably not even gonna ever see you because you know. But yeah, they're doing it right on Twitch to already have about 20. No, they've got more. They've got about 40 followers already, and they actually have about 5 concurrent viewers every time they go live,
So,
which is more than most ever get.
because they were talking about like
What? What
You good?
is that?
it's Kermit moving stuff around in there.
It's fine.
Okay, all right.
That was my gun box falling from the top of my closet.
Oh, all right. Like we were talking about just like discoverability and everything, and so the last episode that we watched was it literally last night?
Last night,
okay.
yeah.
Um,
That was their fight night.
yeah, because
Yeah.
we've always, I mean, everyone who plays Airsoft, I think, memes about Airsoft Pro League. I'm pretty sure there are like rentals out there.
Airsoft Pro.
Man, talking about Airsoft Pro League.
They had to keep the tags on so they could return them when they were done.
Fucking crazy.
And so I refer to it as the Vaporware game show because we're pretty sure it doesn't actually exist, and we all paid $10 for
You're right, yeah.
the first episode, which is basically just some rough guy going Airsoft Pro League over and over again, and then just laughing. So the best part
Had some
about
cool
that
drone
was
shots.
Tristan Art and Airsoft, who we refer to as T Trips, doing the BB bag dump, which is legendary. But so we were in there and we watched the fight night. Was our first, I think, Austin, you had watched some before, right?
Yeah. I watched. I was in the watch party with you guys while we were watching that one where he dumped the bag on the dude's head because we were all making fun of it.
Okay. And then, because I remember Noah and I had never, because none of us had heard of Fight Night. And so, like, a couple episodes ago, it was when KWA guy was on. What was his name? Is it Tom from KWA?
Yeah, it's KWA Tom.
He was on, they were just interviewing him, and he was talking about Fight Night. And I was like, oh man, I'd never heard of this. This sounds really, really cool. And then he invited Snake and Nasty to be on Fight Night, which is Mimi. And so, Austin, you went and watched a couple episodes, I think, and Noah and I, we were just bad kids.
I admittedly had not watched any of it before last night.
So then
There's just a lot of
I watched a little bit of clips of it.
a lot of content out there to consume.
we had a blast in their watch party, and they gave away some free stuff, which was cool.
Oh yeah.
So
Listen, man, KWA is doing it right now. Like they're doing their marketing right. They're doing their actual products. Like
from
you can't really beat them
yeah.
right now. Like they're doing a fantastic job.
from
with
what I
everything.
saw in the interview, it really did seem like they want to listen to the community and like
Mm-hmm.
fill in gaps where other companies
Yeah.
are not.
100%.
Because
Not trying to derail it to that.
but yeah, I mean, I'm sure you guys can talk about it a lot, but the Ronin, like the KWA Ronin, you're the first one to get one out of us.
he was.
Leo was
Okay.
technically, but
Okay, that's right.
I was the first of like the
The
power users to get it,
Yeah.
and I've shot the hell out of mine. I've blasted a lot of rentals with it, you know.
I mean,
Ran it the full mil sim, and it's been great.
because it outshoots my Crytek easily, and it was like $70 less. And I mean, it does have a lot of proprietary internals, I guess. But I mean, you have an adjustable FPS. The hop up's amazing out of the box.
I mean, it's built like a tank. I mean, I've had a ton of airsoft guns.
Yeah.
I can't even count, and it is the most well built gun I've ever.
Not to
held in my
mention
life.
the
like
flash hider, the anodized, the gorgeous.
beautiful.
Yeah,
And
it's
orange
so
is my
odd
favorite
that
color.
it's so well done. Yeah,
Mhm.
Yes, and it's got
And
that
the
beautiful
rail.
anodized orange.
and the rail on it, I think is a Midwest Industries.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
all good shit.
Like that's some good shit.
So-
you know, that's what most people
Yeah.
put on their real ARs.
Like, the Ronin platform has been incredibly popular in Airsoft. Then they're starting with the Fight Night stuff, and yeah, they're just doing a lot of stuff right. And it's fun to see a show that is more personality driven, because like Airsoft Pro League was basically just a bunch of slow mo clips of dudes like.
It was like a reality.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't even know
Like
how
a-
to describe it. And then like
It was like,
It was like a Total Drama Island deal, but for Airsoft, and it was
Real
just dumb.
Housewives of Airsoft.
oh, fun fact. The guy who voices Chef in Total Drama Island is the same actor who plays Lamar or Battlestar in Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
Really?
That's the same
Huh.
guy. Yeah, someone on Reddit
Huh.
posted that, and I was like,
I had not put two and two together
Yeah.
with that.
Nice.
so shout out to that guy. But yeah, it's just the Fight Night was super cool because it was like about the players, and there was not like 30 billion camera angles and drones like almost chopping people's heads off, and
Yeah, God.
Yeah, they actually played the game,
well
and they explained it well.
they show the field, so like you know
They
where
show
they're
the
at.
field.
Well, they have
Yeah.
people who are what do you call it when you're not hosting the commentators?
Oh right.
They have commentators who are actually knowledge in the sport and play.
Yeah,
and,
yeah.
and so they can comment on what the
Sure.
players are doing and how well they're performing and what they could do better. Like it just makes it a whole lot more interesting. It's nice.
No, I agree. It was a lot of fun to watch, and it was three. There's multiple rounds, but there were like 3 matches between
Yeah.
player sets. So there's 6 players total.
And I thought it was cool that they had females, and
Yeah,
you know, like
absolutely.
because you just don't see that quite often, and there's been a whole lot more. There's been like a jump in females in the airsoft community, and I think that's fantastic. It's become such a diverse sport, and I'm sure we can call it a sport. I think
Yeah.
airsoft is a sport.
Well, it's
I mean, if golf is a sport.
Yeah,
yeah. If pool is considered a sport.
yeah. It's
Yeah.
just I
If
think
beer
it's an amazing
pong is
thing.
a sport.
Yeah.
Um,
So I think it's fantastic, and they're showcasing that. So maybe like more females will see that, because I know my wife plays sometimes, and I know Noah's trying to get his fiance. She really wants to go, and she's been like what a couple times, hasn't she?
Yeah, she has played a couple times.
Yeah. So I mean, they like it, and it's something that but maybe if they see more females, they'll be more encouraged
because like
to want to go play.
esports and Twitch streamers, besides like the ones who just show their boobs all the time for money, which is
Yeah, not
which
like
is
the e-thoughts.
perfectly
that just,
fine. I would do the same thing, but like, there's a huge amount of like a lot of the esports teams, like a lot of their players are girls, and they're really good. And then of course like streamers and more casual players are people in the field, and then now there's a lot of big name female airsofters, and it's cool to see because I mean obviously anyone can get and enjoy the sport, but I think everyone who plays knows that it's very welcoming, and I think everyone's just happy to have
yeah.
anyone playing. And I think it's not only I think it's a lot in terms of how woke the whole world has gotten in the past 10 years, but it's like it just seems like it's easier to go out and for them, I guess, to feel like they can go out and play airsoft or paintball or whatever else it is.
For the
without-
for the airsoft community as a whole, like
Yeah.
they're really accepting that, because you can go out to an airsoft field dressed as I don't even anything, and people are just like,
Yeah,
Boy,
dope,
it was
man.
some weird
no problem.
We've seen some wild stuff at CartCon, so
shit.
yeah. So I mean, but it is what it is. No one's gonna sit there and
No, exactly.
Yeah, and it's
hate-
overall
hate
a younger
somebody.
crowd too.
Yeah.
You know, there's just not a bunch of like boomer type guys
That's-
out there
That's
puffing around BBs.
That's why I like Fight Night, and hopefully stuff like Airsoft Pro League, I hope continues, because that kind of stuff gets really good views, and it
It
introduces
bridges that gap.
yeah, because like I think a lot of people sits the Airsoft and they think that it's just like old guys dressing up as soldier men and like
Yeah.
going and saying a bunch of military words out in the woods with toy guns, but like
We don't even say military words in the military. It's okay.
but like you got speed QB and the more like tournament style stuff, which isn't everyone's style. It's certainly entertaining to watch, and I think because not everyone can just go and play NFL league football, but it's still fun to watch it and watch these people at the top of their game play or whatever. But so
Like, and what you're saying at guy at Noah's work who says, "Man, I watch airsoft all the time. I love watching it, but I'm never gonna go play.
Yeah.
But I love watching it." It's the same
Yeah,
thing.
yeah, we have a lot of viewers at work, like who view our channel, who are just like, man, it's not really my thing, but like I just watch that shit all day. It's great. Yeah.
and I think we're getting to the point where it's been weird because it's like gun related, and you know, like people in California are like, we own guns, man.
Oh,
You know,
Uh-oh.
technical difficulties.
well, can you guys hear me?
Dalton.
Can you guys hear me?
Oh, you're back.
Okay, that was weird.
Oh.
No.
I think
Yeah, you're.
am I cutting in and out?
Your camera's
good
breaking
now.
up a little bit.
Yeah,
Here, let me. Can you guys hear me though?
I can.
Yeah,
We can hear
yeah.
you.
Okay, that's weird.
Yeah.
How about now? Is that fine?
Yeah, you're good now.
Yeah, you're good.
Dude, it's the damn liberals, boy. I
The
literally
liberal goddess.
started making fun of people in California. You know, when they see guns, they're like, "Oh, yeah, I can't fasten magazines. Oh, man." Oh. You know, so like,
The liberals got
so
us.
like, I think that's one of the reasons why like stuff like paintball or airsoft hasn't gotten like super popular, like esports style, if you want to say that. You know, where it's like, because you can fucking go in B-dubs and, you know, sit behind, you know, Brad, Chad, and Thad watching, you know, the football game, and then you get League of Legends on the other TV.
Yeah.
Like, it's
Yeah.
bizarre. And, you know,
Paintball had sort of they were sort of on like the ESPN sports scene in the early 2000s, and then paintball just isn't,
Yeah.
I guess, as popular as it used to
no,
be.
it's, that's very much like
I mean, there was
thing.
even that paintball game, and
Well, here's the thing though that I feel like is part that contributes to that is I was watching KWA. You guys ever heard of Demo?
Yeah.
He's more of a speed
Mhm.
softer, but he's
Yeah, Task Force
pretty
had
much
them
like
on,
KWA.
I think, didn't they? Did they not?
Yeah, but I was watching a video with him in it, and he was saying that there's like this huge like stigma behind airsoft because it's a replica firearm,
Mm-hmm.
and and there's, you know, nowadays how people feel about firearms, it kind of relates to airsoft, so they see it and they're automatically like, oh, gun's bad, can't watch this, and then he went on to speak about like parents, how they're more concerned like, is it safe?
Right.
And so
Yeah.
they immediately they see guns and think, oh, is this safe? Like, what's gonna happen? But they don't know how safe airsoft actually is, because if
a lot
we all
safer than paintball.
yeah, like how we all know, because you know all the regulations and rules that there are in airsoft, it's a lot, and then you have the refs and everyone that
Oh,
everyone on the field ensures everyone is safe.
I think that because of like rentals, and obviously you can get rental stuff at paintball fields, but like I
Mhm.
mean, because we've been those people before. Like, I think airsoft is super welcoming because
Mhm.
I mean, if you guys have seen our reserves video,
I was about to say we have a video.
Yeah.
much built
there's-
around
We
that.
literally took a herd of children in
Yeah.
under our
so
wing.
basically
Yeah.
we call them birthday parties, which is like huge groups of younger kids. And the main ref came up to us and was like, "Hey fellas, like," or no, it was our team. We were at our spawn barrel at the beginning of the game, and there's maybe like 30 of us. It was the first game of the day, so not everyone was there.
There's a
yet.
lot of us.
Not many. Yeah,
And,
small group.
He goes, "All right, all my veteran players raise their hand."
Raise your, and
We're
it was
all
just
like-
It
us
is just meme
looking
team.
Like,
around.
And
He
he goes, "Perfect. You're responsible for this group of like 10 kids." Like,
and we're just like, what?
yeah. And so he's like, "You're responsible for this group of kids. Make sure that like they have a fun time. Show them how to play the game." And then he just
And the
sounds
parents
the
were
air horn.
playing, too.
Yeah, the parents.
Yeah,
were
he goes.
Their parents were playing, and that was awesome. Like, their parents were cool.
Like, I remember
kids were
mom
kids were
like
fantastic.
ducking out, and like I just heard
Yeah.
like on her face
just
mask.
in the
Yeah.
video,
And she
was
looks at
lit
us
up
and
in
she's
the
like,
face.
"I think I just got lit up." And we're like, "Yeah, let's go on
Yeah.
back to that barrel."
Yeah,
Chief.
yeah, you're out. Yeah, there's
took it
the
like
there's
a
the
champ, though.
respawn.
Took it like a champ, and they kept playing.
Yeah, and the dad told him, because I think only a couple of the kids were theirs, and the rest were just, well, the birthday party.
Mhm.
And the dad was like, "All right, all you kids, all these Hawaiian shirt guys, just listen to them, do whatever they say." And those they did it.
They
The kids
listened.
did
It
it.
felt like I was
If you told one,
moving troops in Civ 5. Like, I could move them
You're
over
right,
here and
yeah.
they
Well,
would
the parents said that, you know, they were all pretty athletic, like they all played sports, so they knew how to take direction. They knew how to listen, and like if you
Yeah.
told them and showed them how to do something, they knew how to take that and apply it. And we're talking, how old were these kids?
11 ish.
Yeah,
Yeah.
10,
if
11.
that was on the high end, and they were awesome. You
They
know?
couldn't get the guns on their shoulders.
Yeah, they
so
were a little big. The guns were a
yeah.
little big for them, but they did well.
Yeah.
They did well, and it was a fun experience. And I enjoyed that. Speaking of that, like just helping the community grow and
Oh
giving
yeah.
that good experience, because those kids went home and were like, man, that was awesome. I want to go back.
I
Oh
I
yeah.
think most players are honestly probably like that. Some more than others or
100%,
whatever. But like,
100%.
I think it gets a bad rap because like r/airsoft or any like Instagram page, a lot of people see it as like just the guys who get their paycheck and immediately just send it to Evike or whatever every single time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And like the only like one of the only words they can say is milsim, and they just like live at these events, doing like actual
yeah.
operations. Like they just their daily driver is a Black Hawk that they take there and everything.
Yeah.
And people see that and they're like, oh man, it's expensive. And I'm like, for $300 you can get not the best of it. Like you can get a gun, a vest, a mask, and some batteries
If
and
you're-
bare
ammo.
necessities.
Yeah, honestly, I tell this. I've got like a Google Doc of like the sub $300. Like
Mm.
if you're gonna play a couple times a year, you just want to do it. Like here is what you would want to buy. It's it's your mask, your goggles, pretty okay gun, couple bullshit
Like
accessories.
$150
Yeah.
G&G, and then the rest
Yeah,
focusing on the
yeah.
bare necessities.
With rental packages and stuff, and then like like with us, we have tons of extra guns and kit and everything that we can
Oh
loan
yeah.
out.
I mean, I'm all the time taking new people,
And
Yeah.
or somebody breaks their shit. Here's an extra gun.
That's why we call you our team dad.
yeah,
Yeah.
the Team
because,
Sherpa.
Yeah, Team Sherpa. Yeah.
Noah's always taking a bunch of new people to play and try out, which is awesome.
It's always
But
a lot of fun,
Turns out,
especially with
Mhm.
the kids, because like that was us at one point. And
Yeah,
you,
100%.
like imagine that like it's your first time ever playing airsoft. You maybe can't even spell airsoft yet. You all came here like 30 kids and packed in a minivan, and you picked up your guns, and like your barrel's full of dirt because you can't even carry the gun and everything. And then these guys like in Hawaiian shirts with Gucci gear come up to you and they're like, "Hey, listen, it's gonna be okay. Just follow us." And they like tell you what to do,
Yeah.
and they're giving you pointers, and you're like, "Oh man, this is
Yeah.
like these Call of Duty graphics are great. Like they're just having the time of their life."
imagine going back to school the next day and telling their friends that.
Yeah.
No one would believe them. Like, man, I swear there was a whole army of
Yeah.
them. They were all wearing Hawaiian shirts, and they were like gods out there. They said, do this. We
There's
did
one
it. It
guy wearing
worked.
a-
We won.
There's one guy wearing a pink mohawk, and he kept saying something,
Yeah.
something
Yeah,
about
Hawaiian
Spartans.
cape.
I don't know what Master
Yeah,
Chief
Hawaiian
has to
cape.
do with this, but okay.
They just grunted like gorillas the whole time.
But we understood them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's always a lot of fun because like I would rather play with a group of like willing to listen, attentive 12-year-olds than I
Yes.
would like the
With an
milsim,
adult who thinks he knows
like
everything.
the milsim chads that like
Speed. What do we call that guy? Speed Chad.
there's a
Speed
guy we
Chad.
won't
He's an infamous.
yeah, he's always
Nah,
at
yeah.
CartCon and we just call him Speed Chad, and like
If-
he go ahead.
If you guys went back, you would never figure out who he was from our videos. So no identities will be found out. But we call him Speed Chad, and we all know who he is.
Mm-hmm.
He's infamous in our group.
He
And he's just kind of a chode.
he's like one of those guys that because he spends all of his money on airsoft, and even though he doesn't get a lot of kills, he thinks that everyone else should take it just as
No.
seriously. And he's always like barking out orders and doing this and that and taking everything seriously. And he probably has like cry pajamas and stuff like that. But like you don't have to do all that to have fun. Like we
No.
we said,
Yeah.
we come out in Hawaiian shirts, or we went as George Washington and Doug Dimmadome one time
Yeah.
and played. Like it doesn't matter.
I think the one time going way back into the beginning of this podcast when me and Noah were talking about playing in the summer and we were getting really dehydrated, like we just started wearing shorts
Mm-hmm.
and these short sleeve combat shirts, and then it turned into the shorts and then the Hawaiian shirts. So I mean, we're not going out there and cry multicam pants
Yeah.
and fast helmets and we're just going out there casual clothes.
Yeah.
That's kind of always been, I think, our not motto, but like our kind of mantra. Or
Like we take
our
it
view.
serious, but not to the point.
Yeah, like we
to
try
where,
to win. It's not like we're just going out and
Right.
like team.
Well, I
killing
mean, we're all good players.
Yeah.
You
Right.
know, we all
but we
work
try to
really
have
well
fun. We
together.
try to have fun, so
Yeah.
everyone else around us isn't miserable
and like
as
get
well.
good content. Like we're always saying something memey or on the field or doing
Yeah.
something.
Oh
Yeah.
god, Trent is our lead farmer. Is our meme lord.
Yeah.
Brother, I am pinned
He
here.
basically
He-
communicates exclusively in Tropic Thunder quotes.
If
Yeah.
you're watching any of our videos and you hear from not me or any of us with the camera, just from somewhere else, a freaking meme. It's Lead Farmer, and he's amazing.
If shit gets real thick, he'll start speaking in Warhammer 40K quotes.
Amazing.
It's like
It's amazing.
when Canadian people get really mad, they speak French. He just like goes into
Yeah.
Warhammer mode. When...
We just
He
need
just
a
switches
highlight reel.
genres.
We just need a highlight reel of Lead Farmer.
If
Just
you guys have
all of
seen,
everything he says.
if you guys have seen our Leonidas video, the intro to it is
my
him saying
favorites.
he's Star Spangled Dangler. He's like a news interviewer.
Yeah.
And he
Yeah,
just
It's like
on
a
the
combat
spot.
reporter.
Like I literally
go-
pointed the GoPro at him and I said, "Do something funny," and he just like, boom, just like a
Immediately.
sleeper agent.
Like, started
he
the
doesn't even
whole-
have to think. Like
No.
it's just
No,
it comes out.
just
and
so
it-
natural.
Yeah, I love
Well, I
it.
think all of us are like that. I mean, you know, for the most part, we've pretty much known each other since high school or right afterwards, and we have a pretty good, you know, chemistry or whatever back and forth with each other.
Oh yeah.
And I think that's probably why you guys thought to initially start the channel, or why I thought it would be so successful, is like just sitting in our Discord every night, just playing Battlefield or
Oh,
watching
man.
a movie.
Yeah.
or
Some of
whatever.
the
It's-
things that we do on that, people could hear. It'd
It's-
be hilarious.
Nothing that we do as far as creating content feels like a task.
No.
You know, like this, like essentially what we're doing here. This is the same discussion we have any night. We've
yeah.
just recorded it this time, you know. And like on the field, we don't really play any different than we ever did before, just because now we have cameras.
Yeah, we
still-
just slapped cameras on us. this
we
time.
play the same. We say the same stuff. The same people are there. There's just a camera going.
Yeah.
As soon as that camera button turns on, we don't like flip a switch and
No,
change
nothing
personalities.
changes.
No,
I
nothing
promise.
changes. It's just us being goofballs, and it's amazing.
Because we all pretty much live in the same town. Most of us work together.
Mhm,
You know, we on any given week, we pretty much all in one way or another see the other person.
Mhm.
I mean, I'm trying to even think of anyone.
We're more
Who
like
lives-
a family than just like a friend group. Honestly, I consider everyone in our group like
Yeah.
family. Honestly.
Trent lives one town over, and he's still only like 15 minutes away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We live in a
You
pretty
know?
small town. We live in a pretty
With the exception of the Zach lives in Antioch, and that's
Mhm.
still really only like 40 minutes.
And speaking
Yeah.
of like going and playing with not a whole lot of gear, like Zach, when he first started out, like he showed up in jeans and a t-shirt, and
He didn't even have a
I
gun.
think
He
we
just threw
handed him a-
BBs at people. I mean, it's
yeah,
it's all
like
you
he
need.
Yeah,
he had a
yeah.
blast, and now he's invested and he has gear, but like it doesn't like it just
Best
goes to
medic
show
we've
it
ever
doesn't-
had on the team.
Yeah, and it goes to show that you don't have to spend a lot of money, and you don't
Mhm.
have to get all the Gucci-ness to have a good time. You know,
No, I agree.
it's a good time though. I like that and I'm a very competitive person. Like I grew up being very competitive. Like I don't like to lose, and I don't like seeing it. Like when you're in high school or middle school and you're playing dodgeball, and all the girls are just standing there like I'm not playing. Like that used to boil me, like boil my blood to no end.
How
'cause
dare
I'm
they
a
try to
competitive
keep up their
person.
Snapchat streaks while you're...
I know it, right?
Them
So but,
damn
like,
grills.
going to play airsoft, I have to learn to like dial it down, be like it's just a game, like relax, like
We can't yell at the Fortniters.
yeah, like just do what you got to do,
Yeah.
but it's fun. It's a good time, but I do like to keep it competitive.
Well, one of my favorite occurrences at CartCon was when all of us, first game of the day, swept the enemy team so hard they sent us back to spawn. They made us
What?
all they said all the Hawaiian shirts go back to respawn.
What
we were like,
what's the name of that video? Which one was that?
Do we have that up?
Yeah.
it's my camera was not recording because it overheated.
It was mostly my footage.
But it was
Was
that
that
mixed
Vape
together.
Nation Salt? Or...
No,
Could
it
be.
wasn't. No, it wasn't.
Dalton, it was the day that you had to work cars and coffee, so you came late, and then my camera overheated, so
Okay.
we only
Yeah,
captured
yeah.
it from Austin's perspective.
Hawaii 6'9"? Was that the debut of the shirts?
Yeah, it's Hawaii.
That
yeah, 'cause
probably,
they called,
that would have
because
been
they
it.
called us Hawaiian 5-0. They're like Hawaiian 5-0. Switch
Yeah, they're
sides.
like, go back to respawn, and then they would switch us sides. Whatever team was getting smacked, we'd join the other team.
Because
Yeah.
Alec was with us.
It's
that
Hawaii
day.
6'9" CartCon. Multi.
Yeah.
That's the name of the video.
That was the debut of the Hawaiian shirts, which were a win. That's
Yeah. Oh,
as far as I'm concerned. If I'm going
were-
to CartCon, that's what I'm
we were
wearing.
dubbed Hawaiian 5-0
But
that
we
day.
get
and
more
every
comments
time
about the
since.
shirts than we do anything.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
We
they're nice
could
shirts.
walk out there with no guns, and people would still just be like, "Man, those shirts, though,"
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah. Just walk out there with my Ray-Bans and they'd be like, "It's a nice
Oh,
shirt."
dude, nice. We Austin, your boasting the meme team hoodie beta.
Yeah, man, this was kind of like
sponsor us.
this was kind of like a
Call me.
test project here. I went a little overboard because I got the sleeve print. It's a little much, but
The inside of the
126
hoodie is actually
Airsoft.
just a picture of me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then in the back, let's see here. Oh gosh. But yeah.
You said you had a guy come up to you and be like, "Oh man, I love Airsoft."
Yeah, so I was at the gym and I was wearing this, working out, and a guy comes up and he was like, you guys play Airsoft?" And I was like, "Yeah, man, yeah." And I didn't have any of my business cards because I was in workout clothes. But I was like, "Yeah, dude, just go to YouTube and type in."
Guy.
I
You
was
gotta keep some in your
look,
prison
I-
wallet, dude, just in case.
Yeah, dude.
well, I
You gotta
have
keep
some in
that
my
heater
wallet
on you.
now because I kept my wallet on me in my pocket, so I have some in my wallet now. But I told him about it. He was like, "Dude, I'm gonna have to go check that out." He was like, "I love your sweatshirt." So it's kind of like I'm a walking billboard. So it did work out in my favor
Yeah.
a couple times. But
I've
we need
handed
to-
out. I've probably handed out the most cards and stickers and
Oh,
everything. But
easily. We had our. Do you have
Oh,
your
yeah.
dime bag? You gave
yeah, so this is a
See
little
that-
thing we put together on the way to our first mill sim. I call them dime bags, and it's a bag that's got our card and oh yeah, that's AIDS. But
It's a little washed out.
we've been making stickers on the Cricket. It's kind of a group effort.
Yeah, our wives
Let's see if
help us out
that'll.
with that.
It's
Listen,
fine.
we have really
We'll
supportive
put a picture.
wives.
We'll put a picture in the video. Don't worry about
let me
it.
pull one
But
over
we
here.
at the mill sim we handed out dozens and dozens of these dime bags, and it was our card. It was stickers. Just people who had cool kits, people who maybe were in a little firefight alongside us. Just people who were cool. Just whatever. Anyone we kind of interacted
Good
We
with.
vibe,
gave one
good
to
vibes.
Alphonse because we ended up parking
Yeah.
right next to the guy, because it was weird because, and I think it was a rental car, but like it was just a Kia Soul, which is like very unsuspecting, and then all of a sudden
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
just felt like the energy of like prequel memes around me, and I was like, what in the world? And I look over and it's just Alphonse, just like a loving father, just looking at his flintlock, just holding it, and we're like, oh my god, it's Alphonse. And so we go over, and like Noah and I are like little fangirls. We look like we were meeting Justin Bieber. We're like,
Yeah.
excuse me, can we take a picture?
I was like, "How's my hair?"
And so we go and take a picture with him,
Justin
and
Bieber?
obviously like he bench presses like like I don't know,
A Kia Soul.
like a bunch of
yeah.
LMG and a bunch of LMGs every day. So he like pulls us in, and we're like, oh god, we can't even breathe. And we take the picture, and then Noah's like, hey, you want some stickers? And he hands him one of the dime bags. He goes, stickers? Hell yeah. And then he turns it over and he sees the Chungus sticker, and he goes, Chungus? Fuck yeah. And then he ended up following us on Instagram later that week, I guess, once he got back from everything, which was pretty cool. But
There was another guy at the event. Zach and I were just kind of wandering around, and we were talking to some guy, and I was just like, "Hey man, you want some stickers?" And he was like, "Stickers, dude, yeah." Hand him the stickers, and he stopped in his tracks and looked at it, and he said, "I'm gonna go put this on my helmet right now," and just walked away.
Darted.
We were in a conversation with this guy, like he just like flipped a switch. He was gone, and
Soon as you gave him
Zach
those
literally was like, "That was kind of weird." I was like, "Hey, you know what? He's putting it on his helmet. That's fine, whatever."
Yeah. Hey.
So somewhere out there, if you've got that sticker on your helmet, guy, I remember
I
you.
want to be
Shout
passing a
out.
minivan someday, and I like, how kids like put them on the windows, like when they're just sitting there.
Yeah.
I want to see one there. That's how
See
I know
the
we've made it.
silhouette
Yeah.
of Chungus inside a
That's
minivan.
how I know we've made it. Okay.
day.
Do you guys have anything else you want to talk about?
Man, we covered a lot.
We
covered
were
a
gonna
lot in
kind of talk
this.
about Falcon and the Winter Soldier, but somebody hasn't watched the new episode.
Someone hasn't watched it.
Listen, I'm gonna watch it as soon as we get off this.
So,
I have to. Like, listen,
We can so kind of what we thought was episode 1 of this podcast would be kind of our origin story and
Mhm.
where we started, because a lot of people always ask that, and we're like, hey, whatever, it just happened.
and we
Yeah, by
got
the
plenty
book.
more stories from our
Yeah.
origin story. Like, there's a lot that's happened that's got us to where we are now. We can always cover that later on, but this is kind of just the basics.
yeah, just to kind of like
I-
who we are
yeah.
and like how we've been
Yeah.
friends and stuff is always like good context, I guess, to kind of set everything.
Yeah, I think largely this probably will not stay Airsoft centric for more episodes, assuming we keep this going, which I think we will.
Hopefully we don't get reported.
Yeah, don't report us, please. It hurts the channel.
But like my goal is to have like we'll live stream it on Twitch, so like we'll be like interacting with the chat, which will be a lot of fun. And like, well, I'm gonna set up an email address, or we can use one of the ones we already have. People can send us questions. Like we're gonna like I want to do like a meme review where people like send us memes and we just look at them on stream.
We're also the r/airsoft loadout roast series.
Yes.
Yeah, that's gonna be pretty good.
Okay, we're gonna,
Guys,
people
like-
can send us their loadouts and we'll roast them on stream.
So
Yeah.
just think about this. In about 5 months, I'll be home. We're gonna build our studio.
Yep.
Things are gonna change a lot in like 5
Listen,
months.
Joe
about
Rogan,
5
you better
months.
watch out because we're coming for you.
Hey, we're
Yeah.
coming. We're coming.
You'll
for
be
you.
on our show.
It's happening. It's happening.
We'll do DMT and talk about ayahuasca.
We're gonna buy Spotify and then we'll own Joe Rogan's podcast.
We're gonna
Like,
rename it to
We have a
Danko
lot of
Pie.
stuff
Spoon
planned
pie.
for meme teams. It's just been kind of hard because I've been gone, so these guys
Yeah.
have been holding down the fort and doing a lot of the main media.
It'll be a lot
and
easier to
getting
get
all
more
the
footage and stuff too, having one other camera guy. So
Yeah, and
But-
there's a lot coming though, so like expect a lot from
for
us
sure.
because it's coming down the pipe and it's gonna be great.
Coming down the pipe.
Coming down the pipe.
That might be
Yeah.
the
We're clogged
that
right now.
Might,
We're
that might
clogged.
be the name of the episode. Episode 1, coming down the pipe.
Coming down the
And I'll
pipe.
let you guys
Hey,
decide.
we're clogged
I'm
right
gonna
now,
spell
but in
coming.
about 5 months the plumber's coming
Yeah.
in. And,
Like we had plans. Like I want to talk about like aliens, UFOs.
don't even like
This-
Noah. Like if you guys want to get him riled up, message him on Instagram about some aliens. It's gonna
Yeah,
be
just
great.
be
I
like-
promise.
If you
Go.
if you ever want some thoughtful discussion, go to MT6 Red Leader on Instagram and just say aliens, and hey,
Yeah.
he's your guy.
I'll give you about 4 hours. All right.
He's got it in a notepad
We
ready
can say
to
that
go.
for the
He's like,
podcast.
well, you see,
say
it
that
all
for the-
started with Bob Lazar. Okay.
as he's got his whiskey
like,
or
I
moonshine.
I have
he's
a
knocking
I
it
have
out.
a supreme list of references. All right.
Because like a lot of these airsoft podcasts are like just airsoft, and that's fine for people that eat, sleep, and breathe like BBs. But like
We want to be a little bit more diverse.
yeah, because like we have a lot of other stuff. Like we obviously gamers, so like we talk about games, or we'll stream Battlefield and stuff, or what other games, Tarkov.
Yeah.
Like
We've all got rather interesting professions
We
and
talk-
other side
just
hobbies.
life
and
stories,
there's
events,
endless things we can
aliens,
get into.
memes. Like we watch
military
a
stories.
lot of movies and TV shows. So, like we could review an episode of Falcon and Winter Soldier or whatever. Like whatever you guys wanted to do.
Yep.
Possibilities are endless. Sky's the limit. Diamond hands to the moon.
Stonks.
Stonks.
Coming down the pipe.
I like the stock coming down the pipe.
I guess. I mean,
Well, I mean, we've got Dab and Kermit's. Hey,
I think like we actually
Nerf guns.
this probably is a little under 2 hours, maybe an hour and a half. I think.
hour
Have
and
we
a
been
half,
talking for
roughly.
long?
Yeah.
We started at about 5:45.
That's
Wow.
now I know how Joe Rogan feels because like it'll be a 5 hour episode, and Joe will just be like, okay, well thanks for coming, and the guest is like, changed clothes and used the bathroom 3 times. They're like, oh geez, has it already been 5 hours? I thought we'd only just started. Like, oh no. So now I know how it feels because it does just kind of fly by.
Yeah.
So I guess we can just end it there. We've got the Task Force podcast coming up in another 25 minutes, 25, 30.
Yeah,
so.
I'm gonna go like grab a sundrop
Yeah.
and then I'm just gonna sit right back down to
Oh,
watch that.
So, okay.
They're gonna be they'll be interviewing Meme Shark Airsoft Memes 47, one of
I'll have
our
links.
collaborative friends.
I'll have links to like our social media stuff. If we have an email that like we want you to send stuff to for the podcast, that'll be in there. I kind of plan to eventually have like a dedicated YouTube channel and Instagram for the podcast, so everything can exist and there'll be links on our website and everything. So that way, like if you for whatever you're not a podcast person, you don't want to see that all the time popping up like every week or whatever, you can not follow that channel and you won't be bothered by it. You'll be missing out on a bunch of memes, but go fuck yourself, I guess. So
Yeah.
all the stuff will be
Yeah.
down below, like down below myself, but also down below Noah. and not underneath Noah physically. That's on our OnlyFans, but like underneath his
Something
video
else
frame,
underneath Noah.
Yeah, you gotta pay for that.
Yeah,
So
that's OnlyFans.
okay, does anyone else have anything else to say, or we're just gonna?
And I just want to say I'm glad we're doing this. It's something we've been talking about for a long time. I'm very
Oh,
excited. Very excited.
me too.
I'm glad to be a part of it. I'm glad we got to work this out. Me being gone, I've been definitely missing the whole team vibe and missing
Yeah.
you guys and getting it. So this is awesome for me.
This
glad.
will be a good way to like, cause we can't play as much right now. This gives us a chance to like
Yeah.
still do something. You know what I mean? So
And that's all I got to say. I'm happy to be here, and I'm glad we're getting this rolling.
Kermit, you got anything to say?
Well, no, I think you guys really killed it, and hope everybody has a good night.
Okay.
Well,
Thank
yeah,
you.
I guess we'll
thanks,
all just
Kermit.
close with a
Yeah.
dab, and then
I did it wrong.
okay, and then all right, we'll cut there.
There's our thumbnail, I guess.
All right.